Hello my dears, welcome back to another video. So recently I've been more active on Twitter. I be tweeting, and so I've kind of come across this scandal, I guess we could call it, the controversy that's surrounding MrBeast at the moment. So MrBeast released a video titled 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time. So to basically summarize the video, he basically pays for the healthcare of 1,000 people so they can get the necessary treatment they need to recover their vision. So he released that video 3 days ago and it's garnered 70 million views, and some people have had some things to say about it.
Well, here was some of the online discourse, courtesy of Distractify, to give you a little bit of flavor of what people were saying. Quote, if MrBeast truly wanted to do something good and truly cares about disabled people, he would not monetize their suffering and make them tap dance on video just so he can slap it up on YouTube. I'm tired of having to perform gratitude for wealthy people just to stay alive. Others went even further. This person tweeted, there is something so demonic about this, and I can't even articulate what it is, and they've got screenshots from the video. Sticking with the satanic theme here, this individual really went all in, tweeting, he is literally the Antichrist.
So MrBeast did respond to all of the stuff that people were saying on Twitter, and he said, Twitter, rich people should help others with their money. Me, okay, I'll use my money to help people, and I promise to give away all of my money before I die, every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast bad. And he's got a point. Some people are very hypocritical because whenever they see rich people, you know, flying to Mars or doing whatever, spending their money in the most random of ways, they always criticize it and say things like, why didn't they spend that money fixing world hunger, or la-di-da-di-da-di-da. I think it's quite interesting how whenever rich people spend their money in ways that are more self-serving, people will criticize them for not giving back. But then when someone does give back, people will then criticize them because they didn't give back in exactly the way that they want them to give back. Because it seems like a lot of the criticism that MrBeast is getting for this is mainly based around the fact that he filmed and recorded some of the people who he helped, and I personally thought it was nice to see their stories, and I think it kind of raises awareness as well to this reality. So I didn't really view it as him exploiting them. I do understand where some people are coming from in regards to feeling discomfort with people who do acts of charity or acts of kindness only when a camera is rolling, because there are some people on TikTok who've built entire accounts that are just built around them going around to homeless people and giving them like $20 or something. And I can understand why some people feel like that is quite exploitative, because they're exploiting the homeless for their content, and in a lot of cases aren't even asking for their consent before they put them on camera. And so I can understand where people are coming from with that, but I don't feel like MrBeast fits into that category. There are much worse role models than MrBeast, in my personal opinion. I get maybe you're not happy with the way that he chose to do it, but like, blind people got to see again. Do you not want blind people to see? As a member of the partially blind community, I am very short-sighted, so I understand the struggles of some of these people. If MrBeast came to me and said, hey, Patience, I will pay for your laser eye surgery, all you have to do is just pop up in my video a few times and, you know, maybe share a bit about yourself. That's all you have to do. I would be like, okay, where do I sign? Although my story of how I became blind is not exactly emotional or moving by any means. When I was younger, I used to have perfect, impeccable vision. But after spending long nights watching episode after episode of Naruto Shippuden, I now can't see like that. That's my story. At least that's my theory as to why I became blind. Too much screen time, too much of watching bright screens in a dark room, which I think is even worse for your eyes. All of these poor kids that are just like glued to devices, they stand no hope. These youngsters who don't leave the house, who don't touch grass, who don't get some sunlight, I don't know. Maybe our eyes will evolve to just not be damaged by screens. I don't know. So while I can understand why some people are having issues with the fact that he recorded this and put it on his YouTube channel, I also feel like he makes his money from YouTube content. So if he doesn't make content to make money, he can't do stuff like this. So he's giving back the money that he's making from his content by doing these kind acts. And I think it's great. These people are now able to see again. It's going to make it easier for them to work. It's going to make it easier for them to be able to see, you know, the beauties in life, like their family, the trees and that. What MrBeast has done is life-changing. I just don't understand how you can hate on blind people being able to see, bruh. Who cares how they got their vision? Who cares if it was done in the form of a MrBeast video that was put up on YouTube? But the point is, people who weren't able to see are now able to see. And because of that, they are going to have a much better quality of life as a result of what MrBeast has done. And some people would much rather complain about how he did it rather than just appreciate the fact that he's actually improved the quality of 1,000 people's lives. I just think it's ironic how some of the people who are criticizing MrBeast for doing this have never, ever done anything that even resembles this with the money that they've made. If you're going to be criticizing someone for doing something or how they do it your way then. What have you done? How can you hate from outside the club when you can't even get in? But it is quite embarrassing, right? Like, people always want to criticize the people who are actually doing something whilst they just sit and do nothing. And I just find that to be so telling. I also feel like some people just can't be satisfied. There are some people who just cannot be made happy. They're just very miserable people by nature. So they'll complain when no one is doing anything to help people. But when some people actually go out of their way to help others, they'll complain about how they've chosen to help them. So it's just like, there's some people you just can't win over. There are some people who just enjoy complaining and just enjoy being angry and just enjoy being miserable. And misery loves company. So of course they'll put it all over the internet. And I just think it's unfortunate. I'm really happy that MrBeast did this. All of this as well has kind of sparked up some really interesting conversations about like healthcare, in particular with Americans. I can see the socialists are hopping onto this as a means of justifying why universal healthcare is the optimum and the best way to go when it comes to healthcare. As someone who actually lives in a country where we do have universal healthcare, I thought I'd just provide a bit of perspective and say, universal healthcare is not as amazing as those who don't have it think it is. Is it better than what Americans have? Yes. From what I know about the American healthcare system, it does sound kind of scary, to be honest, like in terms of how expensive it is to have basic healthcare. But less crappier than crap is still pretty crap. We have ridiculous waiting lists over here. Booking an appointment with your doctor is a mission within itself. So do we all have equal access to healthcare? Yes. And what that looks like is equally having poor access to healthcare. I don't personally think that the healthcare model that we currently have at the moment is sufficient. One of my best friends lost her sister to cancer, and one of the contributing factors to that was the fact that her screenings kept getting pushed back. And so by the time that she was able to finally see someone, it was too advanced for them to really be able to save her life. And this is the reality of sometimes what it can look like when you have this kind of healthcare. It's not the most efficient type of healthcare. It's slow. Booking an appointment is a mission and a half. Not only that, but the quality of care that you get is not going to be the best because it is kind of rushed, because they're so overwhelmed. They need to see as many people as possible. So they're not going to be able to give you the best of the best. Personally, I do think that our NHS does need to be reformed. So maybe something similar to like maybe Australia's healthcare model. But it's a hard conversation to have over here anyway, because anytime anyone hears reforming the NHS, they think we're going down the American route, and they don't want that, which is understandable. But there are other models outside of Britain's model and America's model. But yeah, that's just my little tangent to say that universal healthcare, don't be duped into thinking it's like this superior, amazing service. It's not without its flaws. You know, it also has its fair share of problems. The best, I think, from what I've seen, seems to be a bit more of a hybrid model. I hope that Britain moves in that direction at some point in the future, but like I said, it's a touchy subject. But I think the main takeaway from this is that it's always good to give back, and it's always good to help people. And I don't think that we should be shaming people who actually do the things that we can't do, because if we can't do anything better, then I don't think we have a leg to stand on when other people are actually doing the things that are helping others that we can't do ourselves. Especially if you're someone who actually does have the money to do all of this stuff, and yet you don't, but yet you have a lot to say about people who are. But yeah, but that's it for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts on that, because I just thought this whole controversy was just ridiculous and very, very silly. If MrBeast is an example of evil rich people, then I would like more evil rich people like MrBeast, because if that's what evil rich people are doing nowadays, is helping blind people see, then I'm all in. Bring some more of that. Do let me know in the comments what you personally think about this. Maybe there's an angle to this that I haven't really thought of or haven't been made aware of that would justify the outrage that I'm seeing online. If you do happen to know something that I don't, then please do write it down in the comments. I'd be interested to read that. But other than that, thank you very much for giving me your time time today. Do check me out on other socials and check out my music. And I will see you on Friday.